The Japanese stab binding serves as one of the basic bookbinding projects. In its simplest form, it consists of a stack of paper with two sewing stations punched through along an axis parallel to the spine, through which thread binds the text block together. We're going to build on that foundation to make a book with a soft cover and a decorative binding with 6 stations. You could actually do more with just about any design, but let's keep it simple to begin with. I like thick books, so I'm starting with 5 half sheets of paper measuring 19 inches by 25 inches. I'll be tearing each sheet down into 16ths, giving me 165 sheets or 330 pages. You could do fewer, but at some point the book is too thin to justify its existence. Start by folding a sheet in half, creasing the fold with the belly of the bone folder before using the bone folder to separate the sheet. Stack each half facing the same direction. Repeat the process for each sheet. Continue to fold and tear from half to quarters, from quarters to eighths, and finally from eighths to 16ths, keeping the paper facing the same direction. Jog the paper into a cohesive text block, being careful not to damage the corners of the paper. On a sheet of cover weight paper, I'm cutting off the decal in order to have a strong edge to measure against. I'll use this strip later. Use a sheet of paper from your text block to measure the cover pieces. You'll need 2 pages of cover weight paper identical in dimension to your text block. I'm using one sheet to guide my cut on the other sheet. Make a template for punching the sewing stations. Ideally, you would use Bookboard to create this template, especially if you plan on making an edition of books. Bookboard will hold up better than a paper template and will cushion the book when it's clamped. Otherwise, if you're making just one book, create the template with a scrap of cover weight paper. It should measure the same size as the text block. Label the template to designate the top from the bottom. Mark a line about 1 inch from the spine. I'm using the width of the ruler, or 1 1/4 inches. This line will be the main sewing station axis. Mark this same dimension in from the head and the tail along the line. The points where these 2 dimensions cross designates the head and tail stations. The key here is to remember that the head and tail stations always need to be square dimensions away from the spine, head, and tail of the book. Mark 2 more stations along the main axis. Punch the sewing stations with the awl. I like to trace a line representing the path the thread will take in order to see what the pattern will look like. While 4 sewing stations is absolutely sufficient, it's nice to add some more stations to add some decorative variety. Traditionally, these stations are symmetrically placed. I'm going to make 2 more stations at 45 degrees from the original head and tail stations. These stations also occur at square dimensions away from the head/tail and spine. One disadvantage of the bookboard template is that you have to trim off the punctured bookboard. If you're using paper or cardstock, you don't have to do this. I'm using another piece of book board to cushion the back of the book and to catch my awl when I punch through the text block. Jog the book to align the head, tail, spine, and foredge. Clamp the template and text block together with office clips. Punch through the sewing stations, ensuring that the awl travels through the book at a perpendicular angle. It helps to stand up and bear down on the awl. Twist the awl as you punch. Be careful since the awl is very sharp. I'm having trouble knowing if I'm punching deep enough, so I'm going to make a depth marker to gauge my punching. I'm using a piece of blue tape wrapped around the shaft of the awl. It looks like each station needs a little more depth. The tip of the awl presents itself on the back cover as a mark for reversing the direction of the punch. Punch from the back cover until the tip presents itself on the front cover. You should be able to see light through each station. Once all of the stations are punched through, carefully remove the clamps. Remove the template and replace the clamps. Be careful to ensure that the text block doesn't dislodge. I'm using the strip of cover weight paper I cut off earlier to make cushions to protect the cover from damage from the pressure of the clamps. Replace the clamps on the text block. Embroidery floss works well for binding this book together. It comes in a wide variety of colors and is inexpensive. And you want to pull as much thread out as you need. You don't want to pull this little collar off, otherwise you won't be able to get it back in. So certainly we're going to be using this amount of thread and this amount of thread and this and this and this. Anywhere that I've drawn this red line, we're going to use that much thread times 2 because it'll also be on the back side. Plus, we're going to be wrapping it around here, 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 and here. Really, how thick is our book? Let's measure that. 1/2 inch for this book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So really that's 12 plus 10, and that's 22 times 1/2. So 11 inches there just for going through the thickness of the book as many times as we need to. That's about 5 inches. 5 times 2. You're going to go this span twice. That's 10 inches. So now we're up to 21 inches. 1 1/4 times 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8. 8 times 1 1/4. 11. That's 11 inches. You can add that to our 21 that we have already. That's going to be 32. We probably need about a yard of thread. We're going to start at the head or the tail, doesn't matter where. Just slide it in. Leave enough that you have a good tail for tying a square knot. I like about, well, that's about 3 inches, I guess. And then we're just going to wrap it around here, like that. So we've come out this side, we're simply wrapping it around, and we're going back in the same direction that we went in the first place. Make sure that you do not pierce through the thread. Okay, so make sure you're going right in, go right in, come right back out, no piercing the threads. Pull, pull, pull. Everything is taut. Now you can see this is super crooked. We don't want that to be crooked. So we're going to make sure when we pull things tight, they're pulling straight. You can pull on the tail, and you can pull on the lead as well. You're going to wrap around the spine of the book and go, once again, back into the same hole, same direction. Make sure you don't pierce the thread. We're dropping it down in, pulling it through. And you can see it's kind of crooked again. Make sure that that lines up. Parallel to the head and the tail, perpendicular to the spine. Pull it tight, all the way around. So we've just made a little square. Where would you go next? Well, we're on this side of the book now, so it only makes sense for us to come this direction. Feed the needle down, press up, if you want to think of it that way. Now, what I like to do is wrap this around the tail. We're going back through the same hole. Tight. Make sure things are lined up. And we'll wrap it around the spine here. again, this is the third time through this same station and the same direction that we've gone every time. So the cockpit initial tail, pull it out. Straighten things up like normal. There's a gap right here. We're going to leave that gap. That's on the front of the book. On the back, it's all tied together. We're going to leave the gap for now. And you can see the thread needs to go to the next station. So let's go to the next station. Come around the spine, down through the same station, same direction, don't pierce the thread. You can snag every once in a while, just free the snag. Straighten things out. Flip things around, have a good look. Where are we going now? Clearly, it's right here. Leave that gap there for now. We're going to go through right here. Now, flip it over. How about we go around the spine? Flip it back over. And guess what? Same station, same direction. Second time through. Things are nice and straight. Pull taut. Okay, so we have a gap here. On this side, spin, and we'll have a gap here. So now, we're going to come up here, down, through the station, around the spine, back down through the same station, straighten things up, pull top, over. Where do you think we go next? We can wrap this way, we can go here. Matter, as long as you do both of them eventually. We're going to wrap around, same station, down through. Straighten things up. Now we're going to do our diagonal. The spine, down through again, top, around the head, looks like the tail, but we call it the other side of the tail, so now that's the head down through. Make sure that we do not pierce the thread. This has got to wrap around here. Just went through this loop. Straighten things up. Pull top. Okay, now, you notice there's two gaps on this side, here and here. Whereas on this side, our gaps are here, here, and here. They alternate. So, you're just going to go close the gaps now. Close that gap. Flip it over. Close this gap. close this gap. Flip it over. Close this gap. Now, we are at the last gap to close. Rather than threading the needle through, or pushing the needle through, we're just going to tie a square knot here. So we don't even need the needle anymore. Remember, square knot is right over left, just like tying a shoe. It's over, twist around. We want this knot tightened down in the station. Now, take the left, go over the right, twist it around. Just like that. Now we're gonna take our scissors, cut off